How to gain psychological leverage over any woman. Gentlemen, fellas, welcome back to another video. Now, before we begin with today's video, I'd like to preface it by saying this. When I make these videos, it's not to manipulate any woman or teach you tactics or a game to take advantage of anybody. Rather, I'm just giving you guys a peek into my mind and just being candid with you guys of some of my experiences and how I live life. That being said, let's begin with the video. See, I've dated women all over the world. As I've said before, I'm a man that is decently traveled, have experience across a myriad of cultures, right? I've said this before on my channel. And so there are certain things that I've come to realize with women, regardless of what society they're from, what their culture is, their tongue, their language, I've noticed that there are just some common truths. Now, what is the first way to begin the process of gaining psychological leverage over a woman? Why would you want to gain psychological leverage over a woman? Let's begin with that. To put it frank, a woman will never respect you, right? Unless you have some form of psychological leverage. She needs to see you and admire you. She needs to look at you in admiration for her to respect you. And you have to become competent. You have to be a competent man. And so that being said, in order to gain, psychological leverage, you have to be a man of high esteem and great grandeur. That only happens by you working on yourself, which we'll talk about later on down in the video. Now, the first way to gain psychological leverage is by never validating her. Obviously, every case is different. You can usually enter into an encounter with some playful banter with a light sexual undertone. The woman isn't stupid. She knows that you want to have sex with her, but you never show your cards. You never directly imply that you want to have sex with her, right? There's rare occasions, right? It depends on what quality of a woman it is. Typically, you can engage, you can talk to her, but you want to always have the woman leaning in a little bit. You want her to be really interested in you, right? You want that high desire. And oftentimes, if you just blow your load and just say something sexual, it can ruin the conversation. It can ruin the encounter because you're putting yourself in a box with other men who have no sexual discipline, men who are catcalling, things of this nature. So never validate her. Don't walk up to her and say, "Oh, you're so beautiful." What you can do is you can engage in some playful banter like, "Hey, I saw you and I just had to get to talk to you," right? You want to speak with your eyes more, right? Now, when you say, "I just had to talk to you," right? And you look at her in a certain way, she sees that desire, but you're not verbally saying that. It's a nice dance between the masculine and feminine. It's something that you can give her something to nibble on, right? Psychologically. And so you start the courting process this way with how you talk, right? How you articulate yourself to her. Now, remember, I always say that your actions and your mannerisms should be poised. They should be poised, not somebody who's conducting himself as a fervent, zealous man that's trying to get the box, right? So you don't validate her. You walk up to her like a gentleman does. You greet her. "Hi, my name is Jacques. You're talking to her, but you're not validating her. You're not saying, "Oh my goodness, you're so beautiful." You just know. Because in this process, you're courting her to see if she qualifies to be in your life initially, right? You're just getting to know her. So you don't validate her. When you lead with a compliment, you're already giving her some type of approval. And this is a turn off on an innate visceral level, even if it's unbeknownst to her. A woman is best in relationship when she is serving and seeking approval, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the video. Moving on to number 2. The second way to gain psychological leverage over a woman is never reveal too much of yourself to her. In fact, never reveal too much of yourself to anybody. You have to leave some area for mystery. The woman wants to uncover you, right? Layer by layer, brick by brick. She wants to understand you. Honestly, half the battle is you just letting her run crazy in her mind, because a woman is going to live in her mind anyway. So never reveal too much of yourself. Let things unravel slowly as you guys get to know each other, right? Make it be a journey. Make it be fun. Make it interesting. Now, for example, for me, I never tell a woman how many languages I speak or things like that. It just comes out. We could be at an Italian restaurant or something, and it'll just come out in a random scenario. I'll be like, scusami, sì, posso averlo? Sì, questo. Grazie. And obviously, I'm a black man speaking Italian, so it always catches the waiter or the clerk or whatever off guard, and then they'll be like, "Parli italiano?" Be like, "Oh, mi dispiace. Parli italiano?" And I'll be like, sì, parlo un po' di italiano. And they'll be like, "Perché?" I'll be like, "Perché Odrosco tre Messi, Riete Italia. And they'll be like, Riete Italia, che beijo. Como stai? I'll be like, sto bene. E tu? Va bene. And they'll be like so confused, right? Actually, the woman I'm with will be confused, and the clerk or whatever will be confused because they're not used to seeing a Renaissance man in the flesh. They're not used to seeing a man that breaks the mold, a man that's kind of mysterious. And this is the point. We work on ourselves as gentlemen to be the ultimate versions of ourselves, and you don't have to give yourself away so cheaply. So don't give yourself to the woman. She has to earn that. You don't have to tell her every little detail about yourself. And these are true stories I'm telling you. For example, I could be in Chinatown or some Chinese spot with a girl on a date, and we could be walking around like looking for something, true story. And I'll just be like, Xia Wu Hao. And they'll look at me and I'll be like, Xia Wu Hao. And I'll be like, literally like true story. Cuando yo hablo chino con ellos, con los chinos, es como se ponen confundidos, como ellos no pueden creer lo que un negro está hablando chino. Pero bueno, and I'll be like, Xia Wu Hao, Wu Hao yi zi, ni neng ban wo ma? And they'll look at me, I'll be like, hello? And they'll be like, Dudley. But they'll be so shocked. They'll be like, 你会说? 你会说汉语吗? And I'll be like, Dudley, 我会说一点吗? And then they'll like bring somebody over, and they'll be like, 你是中国人吗? I'll be like, 对，我是海人和中国人. And they'll be like, wow. And then they'll finally start helping me once they like see that, yeah, I'm conversing with you in your language. And then typically I'm with a bad woman, so I'm talking with the clerk or whatever. I'll be like, 他是谁? I'll be like, oh, 他是我的女朋友. 你的女朋友吗? I'll be like, 对. I'll be like, 她很漂亮. I'll be like, 她是. Don't let that get to her head though, right? And everybody will just be confused. I love that shit because you can't figure me out. I'm an uncanny, peculiar individual, and I pride myself on that, right? And you gentlemen should make yourself as complex as possible. This is why I talked to you guys about the concept of being a Renaissance man. Multifaceted, educated, intelligent, playful, respectful, warrior, all of these different things. You have to reveal yourself slowly. We're doing all this work on ourselves, gentlemen, and you don't have to give yourself up cheaply. If you were truly doing all this work on yourself, you wouldn't want to tell anybody every little detail about you, right? Because you put in the hours. So after this encounter, I'm telling you, she'll go crazy because she's never met a man like you. And that's the thing. You want to separate yourself from any other man on this planet. When I walk in the room, when a woman comes across me, I know for a fact there are few men walking this planet right now with their heart beating that's like me. And I don't say that with a haughty spirit. I don't say that arrogantly. I say that con la seguridad. I say that as a fact because I know the work I put on me. So that being said, because I know the work I'm putting on me, and you as gentlemen know the work that you're putting on yourself, you don't want to give yourself away so cheaply. A person has to earn what's inside your mind. They have to earn you. So that's the second way that you gain psychological leverage over a woman. You don't want to give yourself away too cheaply. She has to earn you. As I said, a woman is best in a relationship when she's seeking your approval and she's just leaning a little bit forward. There's always something to unravel, always something to discover. You're unpredictable. Moving on to number 3. Third way to gain psychological leverage over a woman is simple. You have to be an exceptional man. There's no way around it. You can't fake this. You have to develop an elite level of prowess. Guys, oftentimes you guys think that you have to do all these things to get a woman to fall for you. The truth is, bro, a woman, she doesn't even have to know a lot about you to fall in love with you. I've had women fall in love with me and they didn't really know that much about me. They just knew that I made them feel good in our encounters and our experiences, right? And so, honestly, you have to become an exceptional man. You need to become a Renaissance man. Nobody's talking about this. I'm the only one on the internet in the male self-help improvement space that's talking about this. If you don't believe me, go type in Renaissance man right now. Who else is talking about this shit? Especially not somebody like me that's black. Let's just keep it all the way above, right? So that being said, you have to become an exceptional man, gentlemen. You have to make yourself idiosyncratic. You have to distinguish yourself from the rest of the pack. You have to do the inner work. You have to work on your mind. And when she sees this level of prowess and competency, because women respect us based off of our competency, she's gonna start to fall, especially as you're doing all these different things that I'm going to discuss here in this video. You're not giving too much of yourself. You're making a great experience for her. You're not validating her. She has to earn it. Yes, you can tell her that she's beautiful once in a while after she's earned it. But the way that you are structured, it's a wonderful ride for the feminine. You see, these aren't tactics to manipulate. I'm just letting you know how I operate. I'm just letting you guys get a sneak peek into my mind. Like, I know how to make a woman fall in love with me because I've done it over and over again. It doesn't matter whether I'm in Iceland, whether I'm in Kenya, whether I'm in Colombia, the USA, Canada, whether I was in Greece, Italy, where I lived, whether I was in Peru. Once you understand these things, these concepts, and how to move as a man, you can make any woman fall in love with you should she have the high desire for you. Moving on. The next way to gain psychological leverage over a woman is in the bedroom. You see, in the bedroom and in the midst of intimacy is when you have her the most vulnerable. You see, this is where you can truly start to lead her on a spiritual, visceral level. You can start to implant ideas in her mind that you want to see manifest in her. You see, when you have her in this spiritual, emotional, vulnerable state, this is where you can truly play, dominate, leave your stench on her soul. Now, this isn't to manipulate. This is simply a portal. This is an opportunity for you guys to connect on a more profound level. And so that being said, the way that you guide her sexually and intimately, the way that you lead her, right? The way that you bring her to ecstasy, right? Beyond dimensions, beyond this physical plane, right? The more you get in her mind when you guys are intimate, the more you got her, to put it frank. Now, you might have her for 6 months, you might have her for 5 years, it might be 15 years, right? So long as you continue to elevate yourself as a man and you put it down when you guys are intimate, right? You're gonna have her mind and you will have psychological leverage over her. She will seek your leadership. She will seek your counsel. She will go to you with her problems. She will think about you before she moves, before she acts, before she breathes. This is when you start to get her soul, when you're doing all of these different things in conjunction, right? And I want to reiterate again, this is not to manipulate. I'm just letting you guys know how it is when you do this correctly, when you are this person. Because it's not something that you can fake. I never teach game on this channel. I don't teach dating tactics. I'm not a dating coach or guru. I'm simply letting you know how to be an extraordinary man. Because that's the goal here, right? That's what we're all working towards here, right? When you're intimate with her, this is an opportunity to really connect on a level that's so profound that your stench will remain on her soul should you guys ever separate. I have women that come back to me, that DM me, that stalk my story, that message me 5 years after, and they're married and they're still thinking about me. They're in relationships, they have kids, and they're still thinking about me. This is how you gain psychological leverage over a woman. The next way to gain psychological leverage over a woman, as I said before, is to always keep her seeking your approval. You see, a woman wants to submit for the right man. Once you've shown your competency and you're consistent and you know how to talk to her, you know how to engage her on multiple different planes of existence, you know how to make her feel good, but also challenge her to grow as a woman. You as a man should be so exceptional that any woman that comes into your life, by proximity to you, she elevates as a woman and she grows. You make her better as well. And so that being said, now she looks at you as a leader, as an authority. And so she will be seeking your approval. In the bedroom, she's gonna give you her all. In the day-to-day, she's gonna give you her all. She respects you. And because she respects you, she loves you deeply. Now that love might last, like I said, 5 months, 10 years, it might last a lifetime. That's all predicated upon you being the man that she signed up to be with. And you always have to keep evolving, fellas. You can never get complacent. A lot of you guys get in relationships and you get complacent. You should always keep her seeking your approval. Always leaning out of her chair just a little bit. Always in her head. Half the battle is her mind. If she knows that you're truly a valuable man, she's gonna be jealous. That's healthy. She's gonna be thinking that, oh my goodness, is he making any other girl feel this good, this amazing, right? And you might. That's predicated upon you, right? Being honest. Whatever you desire as a man, you have to be a stand-up man and be honest from the beginning. If you want to be with multiple women, say that. If she accepts and she stays as an adult, hey, she stayed. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Don't be a coward. Be honest from the beginning. But always keep her seeking your approval, and you will always hold psychological leverage and dominion over her mind. She's a free being. We don't control women. Women can do whatever they want. But should she choose to come into your realm and your domain in your life as a man, she has the option to do whatever she wants. But you being the exceptional man that you are, you'll always have that psychological leverage over her. The next way to gain psychological leverage over a woman is to know when and how to give her space. Even if you're married and you live in the same house, even if you've been dating for years, you have to be such an exceptional man and good leader that you understand the feminine's emotions and nature far better than them. So you know when to disconnect and give you guys healthy space to breathe. She has to have time with her girls, time to think, time to get into her own endeavors. She shouldn't be underneath you 24/7, and you should not be underneath her 24/7. You should be always working, striving to grow as a man, and by your desire to conquer the world, right, and to do better and be better, she'll always be looking up at you in admiration, and that healthy space makes for a natural yearning component, right? Your woman will yearn for you. So when you guys reunite, it's explosive, it's magical, right? It's erotic, it's ecstasy. She yearns for your touch. She has an exceptional man. And when you give her that space and you go do your thing, you might be gone on a business trip, you might do this, you might do that. When you come back, it's explosive. Trust me. And you have to know when is the right time to give your woman space. When you need space as well as a man. You can't be underneath your woman 24/7 because you become weak. You need to be around other killers, your brotherhood, right? Guys that are also pushing you and challenging you. Many of us men get comfortable when we get consistent box. That is a problem. Comfort is the land that men go to die, and you can never be comfortable. And your woman should never be fully comfortable with you. She should always be thinking, my guy can do better. And you don't have to say that. Don't be an asshole, be a gentleman, but you display that through your actions. And she sees women looking at you. She knows you can have any woman in the world, but you choose her. And so you will always have psychological leverage over her mind. The last way to gain psychological leverage over a woman, guys, and I could have made this longer, I could have made it a little bit sinister, but hey, I'm a good guy. The last way to gain psychological leverage over a woman is you start to share intimate parts of your life with her when she's earned it. I'll start telling a woman a little bit about my childhood, some of my struggles, how I bounced around from home to home, certain deep, intimate things about me, right? And this isn't a tactic. No, when she's earned it, I'll connect with her on that level. And what this does is it builds a psychological bond. Now she feels like you guys are a team. You've opened up something to her that the other world doesn't get to see about you. Sides of you, intricate details about you that the rest of the world doesn't know. And this is true. You will be candid and you will be sharing parts about your life that you don't tell to other people because other people haven't earned that. And once you've done this, now she's embedded, right? She's deeper in this thing with you. You guys are right here together. It's a team. You trust her with something now, right? And now because you've bestowed upon her a little bit of that trust, and she now knows some intimate parts about you, now she's deep with you. Now she's really like an assistant. A woman wants to be an assistant to a man. She wants to fully submit and just give way. And when you connect with her on this level, once you're doing all these other different things, and so now you've created a dynamic to where it's our little secret. Now there's a little secret between you two. So now you guys are like a real team embedded. This is where you get that Bonnie and Clyde type of shit. This is where you really get that ride or die. You start to get her loyalty once you've displayed all of these different things, right? All the while, as a man, you're climbing, you're grinding, building, boom, boom, getting better every single day. You never stop. She don't know what the fuck to do with you, right? But to love you, but to submit under your leadership and authority, predicated upon the fact you are an actual good leader. A good man is a good leader. You will also protect her heart. This isn't to manipulate. This isn't to be an asshole. You just understand how to lead a woman and how to lead yourself, how to lead a family, how to lead a unit. Fellas, check out my mindset playlist where I break down how to be a completely different rare breed of a man. This is really complex material. This is not superficial self-improvement bullshit. So if you actually take heed to this advice and you become an exceptional man and you do these different things, you shouldn't have any issues with women at all. I don't care what height you are. Once you understand the psyche of the woman, you got her. This is how you gain psychological leverage over any woman. Salute.